This weekend, the Ferrigno Legacy Classic will be going down on the left coast, and it looks like soon-to-be rookie standout Charles Griffen will be ready to answer the call. Earlier this week, Griffin released his most recent progress photos just days away from making his highly anticipated pro debut. And from the look of things, he's heading into his first professional contest looking to make a serious impact. Since winning his pro card by taking the heavyweight class at last year's NPC Nationals, Griffin has packed on a ridiculous amount of new muscle and seems poised to step in and become an immediate presence right from the start. This Ferrigno lineup already looks to be stacked with talent, but with the tools that he's bringing to the table, expect Griffin to be competing for a top spot. Charles Griffin is going to have plenty of company up there on that Ferrigno Legacy stage, including dark horse competitor Steve Orton. If the name doesn't ring a bell, it's probably because to date, the New Zealand native has only ever set foot on a pro stage once, which was earlier this year when he came out of nowhere to take 6th back at the Arnold Australia. New progress photos showed the 260-plus pound monster looking as good as we've ever seen him, and eerily reminiscent of fellow South Hemisphere running mate Josh Lenardowitz, who took the IFBB Storm at the close of last season. Orton is big, thick, and brings in some flat-out nasty conditioning, and if he ends up coming in and knocking off a few household names, don't forget to tell everyone you heard it here first. The Ferrigno Legacy Classic won't be the only hot ticket in bodybuilding this weekend. Out in the Bluegrass State, we're going to have some major action going down at this year's IFBB Kentucky Pro, where rising men's physique star Antoine Williams will be making his way back to the stage. Last weekend, Williams came in and cleaned house at the Diana Cadeau Classic, and now the second-year standout has his sights set on going 2 for 2 to put an exclamation point on what's been a fantastic season. Williams and coach Brian Hoydick seem to have really found their groove right now, and if he comes in looking anything close to what we've seen last weekend, it'll be game, set, and match for the competition. For some guys, throwing around 80-pound dumbbells on a set of side laterals is nothing more than a pipe dream. But if your name is Branch Warren, it's just called Tuesday. This week, the Texas Titan dropped some footage from a recent training session, showing off that trademark homicidal intensity that has become his unofficial calling card. Despite not entering a ton of competitions this year, the Branch that we did see was every bit as big, freaky, and conditioned as he's ever been. And now that he's given his body a bit of an extended break from the long grind of the contest season, I'd be willing to bet that he comes back next year on a warpath to crush anything and everything that would dare to stand in his way. Fresh off a spectacular season that included 3 top 10 finishes and a top 10 at his Olympia debut, men's physique star in the making, Logan Franklin, doesn't look like he's wasting any time getting back to business. This week, the former NPC National Overall Champ was spotted grinding out another intense back training session as he blasts his way through the early part of his off-season. This year, Franklin really came into his own on stage, developing into the premier talent that many predicted he would be when he won his pro card nearly 3 years ago. And now that he's finally been able to eliminate all the distractions and just focus his efforts on the business of making improvements, Franklin has a real shot to start shooting up the ladder in the men's physique division. And it shouldn't surprise anyone one bit to see him end next season as one of the true new superstars in one of the sport's most competitive divisions. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. Check out IronMagLabs.com today. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.